Go ahead.
Hello everyone, I'm Kelly. My research is focused on using some carbon materials as catalysts for pollutant removal. As we all know, sulfur dioxide and NOx are two kinds of major pollutants released from industrial and vehicle exhaust into the atmosphere. Since these two types of gas have adverse effects on both environment and humans, it is necessary to reduce their concentration in the atmosphere. And one of the possible solutions is convert this gas into some salts like sulfates and nitrates. Most of this salt are soluble in water and less polluting. So in this way, the conversion from sulfur dioxide and NOx to sulfate and nitrate is quite important. In this conversion process, there exists a key type of reaction that is catalytic oxidation reaction of sulfur dioxide and NOx. Many of the previous studies have focused on this process. Some of them are quite interested in studying how this process could happen and how many steps might be involved in this oxidation process, while others are more interested in studying try to use different types of oxidants for carrying out these reactions. At the beginning, some metal oxide are commonly used as the oxidants to carry out these oxidation reactions. However, they found that the metal in the reaction is not very environmental friendly. In contrast, some carbon materials like graphite, activated carbon, or some other carbon materials have relative low toxicity. It is quite worth using this type of carbon materials as alternative for this kind of reactions. Besides, carbon materials themselves can exhibit quite good catalytic activities, thus have been used of many reactions. So based on this, if we did some modification on the surface of carbon materials, then we could use this type of carbon materials as both oxidants and catalysts to carry out the reaction from sulfur dioxide and NOx to the sulfate and nitrate. So one of my research questions is how to prepare a highly oxidized carbon materials. And after we have these carbon materials with high degrees of oxidation, we would like to study their catalytic properties as well as the reaction between those pollutants like sulfur dioxide and NOx. We are quite interested in what roles might these carbon materials act during these reactions and how sulfur dioxide and NOx convert from gases to salts. And also, we are interested in what might be happen during these processes. So in our study, we will first obtain some clean surfaces of carbon materials through high temperature treatment, followed by analysis these carbon materials using various techniques. By doing so, we can get some basic information about the composition as well as the structures of the clean surfaces of these carbon materials. Then we will modify these carbon materials. The method we use to modify this carbon material is to oxidize those carbon materials under different conditions and also different chemicals. The main purpose we try these different conditions is we want to obtain the carbon materials with high degrees of oxidation. Once we got these highly oxidized carbon materials, they will be used as a catalyst as well as reactants to carry out the conversion from sulfur dioxide and NOx to sulfate and nitrate. Also, after each step of the reaction, we will monitor the changes happen on the surfaces of these carbon materials using the similar techniques. Thus could help us have a better understanding what is going on during the reaction, what might happen on the surfaces of carbon materials. So after our research, we hope we could open a new approach to reduce the concentration of sulfur dioxide as well as NOx in the atmosphere.
I've got a question. So what will you be oxidizing the carbon to? Because when you said you have to prepare it in order to make it work as a catalyst, so what is happening there?
You mean what oxidants or how to prepare the oxidized?
Yeah, how are you, I mean, what is being made when you're oxidizing the carbon?
We will put these carbon materials in the reactor, and maybe for one type of reaction, maybe we pass through some oxidant like ozone to oxidize the surface of carbon materials. We hope to generate some oxygen-containing group on the surface or on the edges of those carbon materials, like hydroxyl and carbonyl. And also, maybe we will try use some like oxygen plasma to irradiate the surface of carbon materials.
So you still have a sort of solid thing, and the carbon will still be solid, but it's just have an activated surface, is that it? You're just attacking the surface so that it's ready for a reaction?
Yeah.
Which products are you going to form after catalytic reactions?
I'm sorry?
Like you are going to convert this sulfur dioxide to what?
So to sulfate,
To sulfate. And the other one?
NOx to nitrate.
Nitrate. But these are also kind of pollutants, right? Nitrate and sulfate. These are also kinds of pollutants only, right? Sulfate,
So
nitrate.
nitrate's is a pollution itself, isn't it?
It is soluble in water, so we can absorb those nitrate and sulfate.
Hmm. It can be turned to nitrates as well. Nitrates can be converted to nitrates, which is good for plants. Okay. Well, good. Thank you.